Hi, welcome to Conversations with Gen Z. I am your host, Nanette. And if you want to listen, learn, and reflect on the wisdom that Gen Z has to offer, you are in the right place. Today, I am so excited about the guest that I have here today. I am going to be speaking with a powerhouse. I call her one of God's future leaders. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pass the mic and I'm going to have Miss Patience introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Patience. I am 16 years old and I live with my mom, my uncle, my two brothers, and then I have an older sister in Vegas. And a few things I like to do is I love singing. I love dancing. I'm not very good at it, but I love it. And I love painting and learning new things. I'm also not very good at painting, but I love it.
Yeah, that's okay. It's like, it doesn't matter. Let's just do it if you enjoy it.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So in your family, Patience, are you a middle child? You're obviously not the oldest because you said you have an older sister. Yeah. Are you right in the middle or are you the youngest?
I am the middle child.
Okay. So how many siblings is that? Was it 3?
Yeah, 3.
Okay. Oh, 4 altogether, including you.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, wonderful. And what grade are you in right now?
I am in 11th grade.
Okay, very good, very good. So tell me about, so you're in the 11th grade. Tell me about your educational background. Are you homeschooled? Do you go to, public school, private school?
Well, I've been to public school mostly all my life, and then last year I did online, and this year I'm back in public.
Okay. You're Gen Z, you're 16 years old.
Yes.
The program is called Conversations with Gen Z. From your perspective, Patience, what would you say is probably one of the best things about your generation that you've noticed, like with your peers and with yourself? What good do you see with your generation?
Well, I see that they're very encouraging. They're very loving. They're very like, you go girl, you get it. And they're like always there. And they're just like very great group of people who always just have a smile on their face. And it's like really nice.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest struggle that your generation is facing right now? Or biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge, especially around my age, is about relationships.
Okay.
Everyone wants to be in one, and it's like they don't understand it, and then they break up, and it's just like this big mess, and they don't really take personal time to reflect on themselves and bettering themselves, and they're so busy and trying to rush into something without like thinking about it first.
Wow, that's a really great observation. So what you're saying is something you see is kids just wanting to be in a relationship, but maybe not ready for that relationship.
Yeah.
Just jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship. And what do you see, what are the consequences of that from your perspective?
They're broken.
Okay.
Their heart's broken. They get hurt. They get insecure, and they try to like come back with another guy to try to like complete them. And that's where they go wrong because you yourself are not completed, and you can't expect someone to complete you.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. So jumping in relationship or hoping that'll make you feel complete and secure. Do you find that with your friends or the people that you see doing it, do you find that they have higher self-esteems, lower self-esteems? What do you see?
With the relationship, they're very happy.
Okay.
Of course, they're like, oh my goodness, I got a boyfriend, like, ah. And then when they break up, it's like their whole world just shattered. Nothing matters. It's like everything just disappeared. And it's like they're left with nothing. And they look so empty, and it's so sad.
So what would your advice be to the students that maybe are using relationships to maybe fill that gap? Like, what would your advice be to that person who may be watching, or maybe their parents watching?
Just focus on God first. Focus on your relationship with God, because singleness is a gift, and if you're not complete within yourself, you will never be complete within another person.
But what if they don't have a relationship with God? Because not everyone has one. So what would you say to them?
Yeah, Still general concept is just focusing on yourself, making sure that you are still complete, making sure that you are secure, so that if a breakup does happen, you don't give them the power to break you into nothing.
Right. So are you in a relationship? Are you dating or whatever?
No, I'm focusing on God.
Okay, so you are taking your own advice.
Yes.
Your focus right now is the Lord. And are you like, when the time is right, God will let me know?
Yes.
Okay, and He'll bring that person into my life, but you're not out there actively seeking a boyfriend or seeking a relationship to complete you.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like God and your faith in Jesus, right, is a major part of your life. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this wasn't planned, but I want to ask you, I've noticed you have a very strong faith in Jesus. And how did you get to that place?
Well, I was about 12, 13, and it was 7th grade. Okay. Good year. So then we're in 8th grade. Okay. And now it's like COVID, online, computer. And like, I was just like not into it. I was angry. I was depressed. I was like not having it. And we got to that place in 2018 when my grandpa died. And I've always said like he was the light of our family. And I never knew what that meant. And until now, I finally understand he was the light of the world, but he was the light in our family. And then he died, and it's kind of like we all kind of just gave up in that. So I was very heartbroken, sad, and it built up over the years, and I hid in my room, and I was just not okay. And then eventually I was scrolling through TikTok, and I was just like, I literally watched one video, and it was like, go to God or you go to hell. And I was just like, oh, okay, one video. Scrolled again, go to God or you go to hell, different person. Then I scrolled again, and it was like, go to God or you'll go to hell. But this time I have scrolled like 4 to 5 times, 5 different people saying all the same things, and I was completely terrified. And my sister's like in the bed next to me because we shared a room at that point. And I was just like, I don't want to go to hell. Oh my goodness, like no. And then my little brother comes in there, and I'm just like, I don't want to go to hell. So he's looking very confused. He's like, she's a little crazy. And my sister's looking a little like confused. She's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, no. And that was like the moment I decided to give my life to the Lord. But I didn't truly do it because I gave it to Him out of fear. So then I remember it was like some time later, and I was sitting with the Lord, and I was like, God, like, and He was like, you're not following me because you love me. You're following me because you're afraid to go to hell. And that's not following me. I don't want you to follow me because you're afraid. I want you to follow me because you love me. Because if you follow me out of fear, that's not love. That isn't. And I was like, wow. You're right, because if I do follow you out of fear, that isn't love, because nobody wants to go to hell. But if I follow Him because I love Him, very few people choose to do that. And that's a very sad moment in our generation.
Wow. So you have grown in your love for God, and now where would you say you are right now?
Right now?
In your relationship with God and in life?
I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Still growing. I'm still continuing to change and grow, but I feel like I'm doing it in a good direction. I still want to live out Jeremiah 29, verses 11 through 14.
Okay.
Because I want to be someone, and I want to be a person, and I also want to be like David. I think of all these biblical characters. Like I want to be Abraham. I want to have faith like him. And I want to have faith like Matthew, which no one ever talks about his faith.
Oh, tell me about Matthew's faith.
Like Matthew, I read about it. I remember reading the Bible, and it's like Jesus literally looks at his man. He calls him by name. He says, come follow me. And he left everything. In that moment, he had a second to decide, and he left everything behind to go follow a man he did not know, and went on to write a phenomenal book of the Bible. And it's so insane because I want to have a faith like that to the point where if God tells me to go somewhere, I don't need 5 years to think about it. That in that moment, I just get up and leave everything behind. And it's so insane. Like to have a faith like that, it's like,
Wow, yeah, you're absolutely right. That is powerful. It was like, follow me. He got up and followed.
Exactly.
It wasn't like, wait, I got to take care of this. I got to take care of that. He moved immediately.
Exactly. I'm like,
Wow. Okay, very good. Well, what would you say are some things that maybe not your mom, but just parents of Gen Zers probably need to do better? Just from your vantage point, what could parents who are who are raising their kids to be leaders, what can we do better?
I think my family always, there's a saying in my family, and it says a family that prays together stays together. So first, praying in a family is very important. Just praying with each other. And then just also teaching them biblical output and just listening. And also a big thing is that listening to them. Like, I know sometimes you guys are parents and you want to protect them and you're like, yeah, but this, but sometimes we just need a listener. We just need ears. We kind of don't want an answer at this moment. We just want someone to hear us out. Wow. And who better to come to than our parents?
Wow, that's really powerful. And I always tell my kids, listening is such a powerful ministry. One of the things that happens with me often is my husband says that's a superpower, but people will open up to me and just share their business with me, and I'll just meet them for the first time and they're sharing, like I was at the bank and I was just depositing and talking to the lady, and then she just started sharing like just all her problems and stuff, and I was like, wow, Lord. And then I was like, I should probably pray for her. And then I was like, I would pray for you, but there's such a long line, but I'll definitely be keeping you in your prayers. And she's like, no, can you just pray for me now? And I was like, okay, I will pray for you now. And I prayed for her, and this happens frequently. And guess why I think it happens? Guess why I know it happens? It's because I listen. And I'm not one of the things I've learned about listening is that's probably one of the most powerful things you can do today, because most people are so self-absorbed. They just want to talk about themselves and stuff. So when somebody actually listens and says, wow, oh, okay, and shows care for them, it makes them open up even more. So the power of listening is phenomenal. And I feel like it actually opens the door for you to really be able to minister to people when you can just listen, when you can close your mouth and just let people speak, and then you just ask them questions and then they just keep speaking. And so you saying parents listen, I think you're absolutely right. Something I'm always trying to work on with my own kids. So very good. Oh, do you have any other words of advice?
And then just show them your faithfulness, and by doing that, just keep going and they'll see it. So that it makes them want a relationship of their own, because they can't just rely on your relationship. They have to have one too.
That's powerful. So it's like modeling this relationship with God. They need to see that it's real. I've noticed sometimes people go to church, but then outside of church, they're a whole different person. And that doesn't make Christianity desirable to their kids, because they see the real you.
Exactly.
So you're saying, live it. Be faithful. Be an example. Be a model for your kids so that they actually want that personal relationship for themselves.
Exactly.
That is great wisdom. And I think a lot of parents, we need to step up our game and make sure we're not just speaking it, but we're living it. And it comes out in like, how do you respond to problems?
Exactly.
Are you just worried and complaining? How do you respond to people you don't like? Are you gossiping? Are you cussing them out? Are you tearing people down? Like, our life really needs to look different. It really needs to be a reflection of the God we say we believe in, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that is powerful. Well, with that being said, I really want to say thank you so much for the time that you gave me today. I feel like you definitely, the hand of the Lord is on your life, and I believe the Lord is going to use you in a mighty way to impact not only your generation, but people much older than you. So keep up the good work, and thank you for being on Conversations with Gen Z. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.